All right, good morning, traders. Today is December 5th, 2023. My name is John Carrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. My SPY pivot this morning is 455.50. Below it, I'm a bear. Above it, I'm a bull. Fab 5, that's FNGU, SPY, QQQ, and DIA, all in daily uptrends. FNGU closed underneath the 17 EMA, so getting a little pullback there. SPY is in the 3-8 trap. That means it's between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA. QQQ closed underneath the 8 EMA. That's our T line. IWM and DIA are riding high, closing above their 3 EMAs. GLD and SLV remain in daily uptrends. USO, that's crude oil, is consolidating near the recent lows around 74, and UNG has dropped to a new low below 550. US dollar index is currently consolidating on the daily chart around the flat 200 SMA, right about 103.60. So let's go take a look at some charts. See what the markets are doing this morning. Well, actually, what they did yesterday. So here's pull up a daily chart here. Let's pull up SPY first. All right, so here's SPY. Now notice this is our weekly downtrend line right through here. Here's our weekly downtrend line. So we ran into sellers right here. You can see we couldn't stay up there very long, maybe for a day or two. That's about it. And for the price action for yesterday, we had a lower high and a lower low, closing underneath the 3 EMA. All right, so SPY's caught in the 3/8 trap. So for yesterday's price action, if we look at it, where did the price action go to? So we gapped down in the morning yesterday. You can see price action came up to the pivot, which was 456.88. And then we traded all the way down to the backside. That's the backside of that downtrend line right there. That weekly downtrend line that happens to start in 2022. Now we also have an uptrend line right through here. All right, so this starts off probably on the 15th of November, and this is the uptrend line that we currently have. And you can see we also tested that as well. So we tested the downtrend line as well as the kind of intraday or the recent uptrend line that was established right there. All right, so yesterday price action came down, bounced right on that weekly downtrend line / daily uptrend line, came up to and ran right through VWAP, came up to the pivot and then kind of faded back to VWAP. All right, and then at the very end of the day, we got some ascending tails. And you can see we got a thriller trade for the bullish side right up to the anchored VWAP, which was about 456.92 right there. So there's our anchored VWAP. And that anchored VWAP started on Friday morning. As you can see, that's the first candle. And you can see right there, that's where price went to, 457, 456.92. So that's a price action yesterday for SPY. So we look at it on the daily chart. You can see we've got a high. We made higher highs, so we're in a daily uptrend. All right, just a pullback. Now we had sellers up here. I had some puts up here that I had purchased Friday. And the reason for holding those puts was we had sellers at this location 5 months ago or 4 months ago right there. So I held those puts for the dip yesterday morning, and I closed out all those puts. Not all of them, but the a good portion, over half of them. And right now I had a hedge that I traded last night. In other words, I had puts, so I hedged it with short puts. So I sold short some puts, and you can see I closed that right at the anchored VWAP. And turns out that was a pretty good trade because market's gapping down. So I'll have the opportunity to reload those puts when I see low of day. So there's SPY on the daily chart, still in a daily uptrend. QQQ looking about the same, but a little bit weaker. All right, so here's QQQ. Yesterday's price action, you can see lower high and a lower low, closing underneath the 3 and the 8 EMAs right there. Had a visit to the trend indicator right there. So still in an uptrend, all right, because we have a high. We made higher highs, so that keeps us in that daily uptrend for QQQ. And we could pull back to any one of these levels right here for minor support. So we'll see what happens. So there's QQQ. And we also have a downtrend line that I should probably extend out. And you can see there's a possible visit to this backside of this downtrend line. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU on the daily chart doesn't quite look as good as QQQ. All right, so here's FNGU. Here is the high. FNGU making a higher high, puts it in a daily uptrend. But FNGU closing underneath the T line, underneath the 3 EMA, and underneath the trend indicator, 17 EMA right there. So FNGU having a little bit more pullback than the other two. A little bit weaker there, but a pullback to minor support and then a bounce higher is very good for FNGU, or actually any product. If you can get it to pull back to minor support and then bounce back up and make new highs. Let's take a look at IWM. So here's IWM, had a nice candle on Friday, and here we have some continuation. All right, nice Marabuzu candle right there. And then we got a little bit of follow through on Monday. So you can see right there, there's the neckline for the previous head and shoulders. And price action closing again for the second day over the neckline. That's a good sign for the IWM. So IWM in a daily uptrend, got a higher low and made a higher high. So let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Here's Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow in a daily uptrend, making a higher low here. Just one candle. We have another high right here. So you can see Diamond Dow putting in a higher high, puts it in a daily uptrend, and a higher low and a higher high also makes it into a daily uptrend. Diamond Dow up in the 3 EMA, closing well over the 3, not well over, but pretty much over the 3 EMA, doing all the right stuff. Had an inside day yesterday. You can see we got a lower high and a higher low. So inside day from yesterday, from Friday's candles on Diamond Dow. Take a look at the transports. They come through here. Don't do this to me. All right, well, let's do this. Let's go look at. All right, so here we have the dollar index. All right, here's the July low. Here's the September high up here. Nice rally from July up to September. And we have a pullback. We passed through the 50 and the 100, and then we were starting to deal with this flat 200 SMA on the daily chart. So here's price action for the US dollar index pulling back to the flat 200, and now we are kind of just consolidating here in a bear flag because that's down right there. And you can see us consolidating here right at the flat 200, which is about 103.60 level right here. All right, so weaker dollar helps the United States, helps the markets because, well, it makes our goods and services cheaper in the global economies as we do the conversion rate from our currency to their currency. The cheaper our currency is, the more goods and services they're able to afford. Plus, it makes us competitive against other foreign services that are also trying to sell their products to the same company or the same country. So there it is. So there's the US dollar index pulling back but consolidating at the flat 200 SMA. Economic calendar for today, we've got one Fed speaker at 10 a.m. This morning we got PMI composite at 9:45, ISM services at 10, same time as our Fed speaker, and the JOLTS come out at 10 as well. For tomorrow, we got mortgage applications at 7 in the morning, ADP, so we're going to do some payroll at 8:15, and international trade goods at 8:30, productivity cost also at 8:30, and then the petroleum status at 10:30 tomorrow morning. We don't have any Fed speakers, noteworthy Fed speakers, and I'm talking about Mr. Powell, on the schedule as of yet for this week. And I think next week we have an FOMC statement coming out Wednesday. So we'll see if they're going to increase rates, decrease rates, or just hold steady. I believe it's coming out Wednesday next week. We'll see what happens. Here's the earnings calendar for the NASDAQ. So for today, we've got BHP, and they don't yet have a time, but they're going to report sometime today. And that's 318 billion. 46 billion for AutoZone in market cap. Ferguson, 35 billion. Everybody else just kind of light. Nothing noteworthy other than BHP. And they're not sure when they're going to speak right there. So that's it for that. Let's take a look if we can pull up some charts for the SMH. And here we are with the IYT. All right, so here is a daily chart of the transports. You can see we moved up, consolidated, broke out, and then a little more consolidation, then broke out again. So now we're up in the uptrend line right up here over 250. So this is the uptrend line that starts back in about October of 2022 right there. So here's our uptrend line, and here's price action closing 2 candles over the uptrend line. So that's a good sign for the IYT to recover like that. So we have Russell 2000, that's small and mid caps. That's in a uptrend, so that's bullish. We've got large caps, which is FNGU, SPY, and QQQ. Okay, they're in an uptrend. Technology, which would mainly be QQQ, also in an uptrend. We've got transports in an uptrend. Let's go take a look at financials. So financials had some trouble back here in March. And what we had was a regional bank crisis or a regional bank snafu. I don't know what you want to call it, but the regional banks, we had some closures, and that caused the XLF to take a huge hit right there. So since March, for the last 6 months, it's been trying to recover. Now you can see we put in a higher low right here, so that is some sign of recovery right there. Now you can see we've recovered almost everything we've lost. You can see this was the breakdown from the regional bank snafu right there. And you can see now price action is challenging the same spot right here today, almost 6 or 7 months later. So that took us that much time to recover this drop that happened, plus the bad sentiment that's going on. So XLF, definitely in an uptrend, making a higher high over this high, and this high. All right, still no higher low unless you want to count this one candle here. So XLF, financials are also in an uptrend. So we got the makings of a really good market rally because we've got our financials are in an uptrend. Our technology is in an uptrend, okay? We've got transports. That means more stuff is being delivered and moved to warehouses and to locations that it can be sold or delivered to on-site to production areas. Okay, that's in an uptrend, all right? Now, I think we got one left, and that's the SMH. And I'm pretty sure that's already in an uptrend. SMH was making new highs earlier this last month for the year, actually all-time highs. So SMH not coming through for us. But anyways, SMH is in an uptrend and was consolidating up near the recent highs. It did have a small pullback, ever so slightly, but it's in a bull flag the last time I saw it. But maybe we can get it to pop through here pretty soon. But I'm just going to close this off for right now. So I'll see everybody out there in YouTube land at 4 p.m. I'm going to take questions in the room. Hopefully my charts will come up so I can take questions in the room. And we'll see everybody in YouTube land about 4:30 or so. We'll do another video, and I'll try to get it rendered and posted up there by 6 p.m. All right, so for right now, everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later this afternoon.